So before we begin, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can be made aware every time we put out a new video. And remember to check us out on Instagram, and now you can also find us on Facebook for exclusive content. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of All Things Universal Orlando. Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 things not to miss when going to the studios side of things. Not including Islands of Adventure in this one. This is strictly limited to Universal Studios. And I've come up with 5 things that I think you shouldn't miss. It'd be a mistake to miss them. Things you don't want to miss. Things that are important. Things that we like to do. I love to do. And I think you probably will too. So let's get right to it.
Great, Scott. Number 5.
Number 5. I think you should not miss trying a unique food item. Something that you can only get there at Universal Studios. Whether it's butterbeer, pumpkin juice, something unique to Harry Potter. Whether it's a jacket potato or a crepe. Now I get that jacket potatoes and crepes are not unique to Universal, but theirs are. And understandably, they're very good. I've had many of the potatoes. I've never had the crepes, I have to say, but I've only heard people say amazing things about them. I can tell you we're getting ready to go back here in just a little bit over a month, and I can't wait to try it. It's one of those things that I'm going to do. But try something that you can only get there at Universal Studios. And like I said, there's a handful of things. A lot of them can be found in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter there in Diagon Alley. It's really cool. They have butterbeer ice cream, butterbeer frozen, butterbeer whether it's hot, you name it. It's just amazing and you should try. It's not to be missed. Pumpkin juice is really good. They have lemon fizz. They have all kinds of unique food items that you're not going to want to miss because, well, you can only get them there. I can tell you a lesson learned regarding pumpkin juice. We bought a couple of bottles years ago and they come in a neat bottle with an orange or a pumpkin cap. They don't sell them like that anymore, and I actually had to buy one off of eBay because I wanted to keep it. So when you can get something unique at Universal Studios, I think you should do it. There's a handful of other things that are there. A lot of it is kind of normal fare, state fair kind of food. But if you're going to be there, have a unique item. Go to a unique restaurant. Go to Finnegan's. Go to Lombard's. Do these things and have things that you can only get at Universal Studios. You'll be glad you did because when you're away and can't do it, well, then it's a problem. Now, I'm not including City Walk in this, but I probably could, maybe even should, because I don't understand why Burger King is there, or Panda Express, or even Moe's, because I can get those things anywhere. And so because I can get them anywhere, I never go to those restaurants when I'm at City Walk. But imagine if they had like an In-N-Out burger or something unique. I remember when they brought Voodoo Donuts in. That's a great concept because Voodoo is something you really can't get anywhere. They have them in Portland, Oregon, but that's it. And I know that there's a Cowfish somewhere else, and all of these things were original restaurants that, came to City Walk. But they're not chains that you can just find everywhere. I know Margaritaville has a few locations, but again, we're talking kind of exclusively to Universal Studios. So try one of the unique food items that you can only get there. Go over to Springfield and have some unique food that is designated from Krusty Burger or the Cletus's Chicken Shack. All of these things are unique. Yes, it's a chicken sandwich or a burger or pizza, but it's a specific kind that you can only get there. And for all of those reasons, trying a unique food is the 5th thing that you should not miss when going to Universal Studios.
Number 4. Boop-boop-be-doo-boop.
Number 4, see a street show. There's a handful of them, and frankly, they're all pretty good, some better than others. Hands down, the best street show that you can see there is the Blues Brothers. Do not miss this. This is a great show in and of itself. This is not just not to miss as a thing in Universal Studios. This is a thing not to miss anytime and every time you visit. It's an exceptional show. It's interactive. The characters who portray Jake and Elwood Blues are extraordinary. They sing well. They have the dance moves down. The interaction is great. They come into the crowd. They drive up in the car. It's an amazing show and you're not going to want to miss it. But that's not the only show. They have the Beat Builders, also a good show, entertaining. Not really interactive, but certainly fun to watch and something you're not going to want to miss. Marilyn and the Diamond Bellas is another great show that is interactive. You might get called up, she might come sing to you, and you can certainly take pictures with all of them after the fact. And it's a good show. They have a director out there. It's just amazing. You really don't want to miss that show. But I mean, There are so many things, like if you go into Diagon Alley, there are shows there. Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees, but also the Tale of the Three Brothers. The Celestina Warbeck show is interactive. You might get picked up to go into the crowd. In any event, it's good. They're all good, and they're not to be missed. I'm not saying you have to see all of them, but certainly pick one or two and don't miss out on them. And for all of those reasons, seeing a street show is the fourth thing that you shouldn't miss when you go to Universal Studios.
Tree and a half. Wait, tree or tree and a half?
Number 3 is one of my all-time favorite things to do when I go to studios. It's changed a little bit over the course of the years, but it's basically been there for a long time. It's just had different names. And of course, I am talking about the horror makeup show. An amazing show, an amazing attraction, not a street show, and that's why it didn't get included with number 4. But this one is special. Absolutely hysterical. And whether, regardless of the character that is portraying Mark James and Alex Ross, and those are the two hosts that host this show, different actors portray them. We all have our favorites, but they're all good. None of them is really maybe any funnier than the other, but sometimes the chemistry is just so good, and the show is hysterical. It's also creepy, and it's interactive. You might get called up to be a part of the show, and that's the best part. But you also get to see behind the scenes of horror and makeup and how they make these things happen for the movies. And it's really good. Even the queue is exceptional. If you're out in the lobby, there's all of these props and memorabilia from different horror films and storylines to tell you about makeup and what went into it and all of the challenges that have been progressing through the ages as makeup gets better. This is an exceptional show. It's informative, it's entertaining, it's absolutely hysterical, and I never miss it. If we're going to Universal Studios 5 days in a row, I'm going to see this show 4 or 5 times. There's no doubt about it. It's that good. I never miss it, and neither should you. And for all of those reasons, the horror makeup show comes in at number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2, explore Diagon Alley. Spend a lot of time there. It doesn't seem like this huge area, but it's deceiving. There's really a lot there and a lot for you to see and a lot for you to do. Of course, there is the main attraction, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. A good ride, a little underwhelming to me. Amazing queue for sure, and the ride is worth doing for sure once, but in and of itself, it's not my favorite attraction, but you shouldn't miss it. We go on it every time we go. I don't know that we go every day that we go, but every trip we take, we are making sure to see Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. You shouldn't miss that. It's a really good show, or a really good attraction, I should say. But there's also Ollivander's wand selection. This is amazing. I told you many times, my daughter Mia has been selected so many times. When we go and we say, hey, don't pick her, pick somebody else who's never done it. It's amazing, and we see it at least once, usually twice, 2 or 3 times when we go. It's a neat thing to see the smile on somebody's face when they have the wand select them as a wizard. And the characters who go into being the Ollivander employees are tremendous. So good. They stay in character. You can't really tell if they're actors or if it's real. I mean, you really can't. It's that good the way they portray this. And you don't want to miss that. Ollivander's wand selection is outstanding. There are numerous shops, whether it's Globus Mundi, Weasley, the Weasley shop, Weasley Wizarding Wheezes. I'm not sure what it's called. Weasley Wizard Wheezes, I think is what it is. It's a fun shop. Go in that shop. It's really cool. But there's so many others, and each one has a tendency to have unique Harry Potter gifts and themed items. They all have keychains and pins, and most of them have robes and stuff like that, but they're just awesome. I can tell you that Carla, my wife, can spend all day in Diagon Alley just going through the shops. And it's worth doing. Madame Malkin's is there with some really cool features, mirrors and different robe experience. It's just awesome. You really want to check it out. Don't miss the shops. And then if you go down into Nocturne Alley, Borgin and Burke's, probably my favorite shop there. It's a creepy shop for a creepy bloke like me. I got a shirt from there. In fact, everybody in my family has a shirt from there. And you don't want to miss this. Diagon Alley is awesome. Nocturne Alley has the shrunken heads that sing. There's different wand experiences, which is the next thing that you can do there. All throughout Diagon Alley, they have wand experiences where you can stand in front of a window and say some kind of spell and move your wand a certain way and something happens. And there are some hidden ones that aren't on the map. I'm not going to tell you where they are because I want you to find them. If you really get desperate, go on YouTube. There's plenty of people who will show you where they are. But there's even some of those down in Nocturne Alley. It's cool, it's dark, It's a nice place to take a quick rest, and there's places to sit. So Nocturne Alley is another one of those cool areas. And for all of, there's the shows, Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees, and also the Tale of the Three Brothers. There's so much going on in Diagon Alley. You could spend all day there, certainly half a day. And for all of these reasons, exploring Diagon Alley is the second thing you should not miss when going to Universal Studios. Now, I have an honorable mention, and this is kind of one of those things that people love or they don't really care about it. I actually like it. It's one of those things that I don't really miss out on when the opportunity presents itself. All of the character meet and greets that are there on the studio side. There are so many more on studios than there are at Islands. Really, at Islands, you just have a few, basically the Marvel Superhero Island area and a couple of others that aren't overly exciting, but Studios has quite a few. There's The Simpsons, where you can meet essentially just about everybody from the cast, certainly all the main characters, but there's also Sideshow Bob and others. It's really good. Krusty the Clown, you can do that and you can see him often and all the time. The cast of Scooby-Doo is easy to find, as well as the Mystery Machine, and they're good to take a picture with you, good to interact. It's a great meet and greet. Betty Boop is there, and then you also have Marilyn Monroe, sometimes Lucille Ball, and they'll all take a picture with you. They'll all do entertaining things and talk to you. It's really cool. You can meet the Minions and Gru when you get off Despicable Me. Shrek and Donkey is an interactive meet and greet that you don't want to miss. It's excellent. You can meet different Transformers, Megatron, Optimus Prime, even Bumblebee, and they interact with you. It's really, really good. Then you have Labby the Cabbie has made an appearance recently, so he's back. But even at the Mummy, you have the pharaohs that are outside walking on stilts that are pretty creepy, and they'll stop to take a picture with you. It's pretty cool. Hashtag the Panda over by Jimmy Fallon. Men in Black, although they don't seem to be out nearly as much as others, but they are out. And then they even have the new one from Boss Baby is the meet and greet, and then they have the sparkle, rainbow sparkles, trolls, and different things that you can meet. And there's really just so much going on, and it's a fun time. Great pictures, great memorabilia. But the best one, without a doubt, is Beetlejuice. You don't want to miss Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice will sit there and talk with you. He'll push you. He'll put his arm around you. He'll joke with you. He'll make fun of you. He'll insult you. And he's great at it. The actors who portray Beetlejuice are spot on. I don't know that one's any better than the other. They're all great, and you don't want to miss the character meet and greets. And for all of those reasons, meet a character. That's something you don't want to miss when going to Universal Studios. Now, before I get to the number one, I'm going to count down the top 5 so far. Number 5, try a unique food item. I listed a handful, but there's more. You look for them. Number 4, see a street show. I recommend the Blues Brothers, but the Beat Builders, Marilyn, and the Diamond Bellas, there's a lot of them, and they're all pretty good. Number 3, the Horror and Makeup Show. Don't miss this. Fantastic, fantastic attraction. Don't miss it. Number 2, Diagon Alley. So much to do there, you could probably spend all day if you wanted to. So here it is.
Hey, number 1.
The number one thing I think you shouldn't miss when going to Universal Studios, I think it's the best attraction in all of Universal Orlando. Men in Black. A lot of people make fun of me, but I think it's super fun. It's one of those things that if we go 5 days in a row to Universal Studios, we're probably riding that 10 to 15 times. And maybe one time we'll go 4 or 5 times in a row just trying to better each other's score. So much fun, completely interactive, tremendously themed. The queue is great, and if you have the opportunity, you can ask to take the immigration tour, which we've done, and it's amazing. You get an up-close look at some of the theming that goes in downstairs. You get to sign in on a guest book. Great photo ops, and the person who leads the tour will give you some tips when getting on the ride. It's just amazing to challenge yourself against the people in your own ride cart or the people that are in the cart opposite you when you have the chance to shoot them. This is a tremendous attraction, and it is not to be missed. I don't really have to talk a lot about it. It is a popular attraction. It's so much better than Disney's response to it, which is Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin, which to me just pales in comparison compared to Men in Black. Men in Black is amazing. It's themed beautifully. The store that you let out into is great. Not to mention that the bathrooms are some of the best bathrooms in all of Universal Studios there, just outside of the attraction. And for all of those reasons, Men in Black is, in my opinion, the number one thing you should not miss when going to Universal Studios. So hey guys, remember, Like and subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be made aware every time we put out a video. And remember to pay this forward. Go out and do something amazing. Go out and bless somebody else in some way or another, expecting nothing in return, and watch what happens in your life. We'll see you.